Morning YouTubers, Facebookers and Instagrammers. It's a cold morning today, first cold morning we've had for a little while. I'm out training with one of my clients' dogs as usual. And I've been thinking over the last couple of days, obviously I'm working with lots of different people, some online coaching and some obviously in person. And one of the things that, you know, I'm very aware of, but perhaps I haven't talked about is how slow and how long it takes to train these dogs. I think generally when people end up buying these dogs, they just massively underestimate the amount of time it takes to do it, especially when you're a novice handler. So when I'm working with people, I think I get the impression sometimes, I don't know if it's that they're impatient, but they don't realize obviously how slow the process is. And you can spend an awful lot of time just working on one element. And that's just unfortunately the way it is. And at first, when you first start training, and certainly in the first maybe 5 or 6 months, you're not actually going to be doing an awful lot in the early sessions. You might be just working on getting that basic retrieve, which for most people can take quite a long time. Now, that might feel that you're stalling sometimes, but it's also just the reality of it. Sometimes from my point of view, it takes me a while to figure out what is the right thing for people's dogs. And obviously when it's online, it's even harder because I'm obviously not seeing the dog in person and I'm only seeing very short snapshots. Light's really good this morning. Yeah, so I often get the impression people want to be pushing along, doing more things quickly. And you see that a lot with other people that come a bit later down the line, that they've rushed on through things. And it's much harder to go back and correct those things a bit later than it is to get them right at the beginning. So having that patience early on is so hard, especially when I suspect the majority of the dogs that I'm dealing with are inside, which again adds complications to the rule. Just remember, even though you might have bought this working breed of dog, and I emphasize working because it doesn't matter that you stick a collar on the dog, doesn't change your dog's mentality, still needs correcting, still going to have the natural instincts, desires and drive to do things. And part of my job is to try and stop people falling into the traps that everyone else has. Obviously it's my bread and butter, I see it day in and day out. But as I said, going back to the beginning of what I was talking about, is that it just takes so long. And you don't underestimate that. And I suspect that the majority of people will often give up way before they even get going. And that's generally because they think it's going to be so much easier maybe, or they think they should be moving a lot quicker. But as a novice handler, you're having to learn. And until you get your part right, the dog's probably not going to get its part right. It's much easier for me, although I'm always learning, even as a teacher, I'm obviously going to be able to get things pretty much right straight away most of the time. But when I'm having to teach other people, they're making a lot of mistakes on the way. That's just part and parcel of the course. But that's where the patience really has to come into play. And it's a really hard thing for me to get across to people. I've got some people that have been training with me for a couple of years, twice a week even, and they'll even tell you how much they've had to learn on the way and how much patience and there's ups and the downs that come with this all. But if you stick at it, generally you can end up with really quite a good dog. But it is going to take some time, guys. So all I wanted to get across to you is you just need patience, and you need to avoid doing the things you shouldn't be and really focusing a little bit on the things that you should be doing, and have patience. Again, patience. Anyway, I hope this makes sense, and hope you enjoy your Friday, guys. Catch you later.